Okay, so there's stages to this ladder we're climbing, and everyone is on different levels. So there's different levels on where people are on their spiritual journey, and I'm just going to talk about the surface level of appearances on each of these levels. So your lowest is the 2D, 3D. Okay, so this is, we call the flesh stage. This is where these types notice just cars, vacation, money. They're very carnal in their mindset. They like clubs, they like to get trashed, they like to go to bars. This is the lowest of the lowest, and we have all been there before. So when I'm saying this, do not take this the wrong way. I'm not looking down on anybody. I'm talking about this in a general perspective because we've all been in this stage, and some are in this stage. There's even adults that are in their 30s, their 50s that are in this stage still. So it could work on any person. It's just depending on where you are spiritually. Now, when I say vacations, I'm not talking about like normal, regular family trips, family vacations. I'm talking about like extravagant vacations where you are trying to appeal to the world and you want to flaunt that out there. There's something really tasteless and trashy about that type of energy. And that's the kind of vacation I'm talking about. And when it comes to like worldliness with cars and stuff, like, you know, people just want the best of the best things. They like to show that off to the world. That's what I'm talking about. Like, you could want something like a nice vehicle and it could be humble. I'm talking about that nasty, worldly type of energy to the things that I'm describing. See, a lot of the 2D and 3D, they like the noise. They like to be surrounded by people that are noisy. Like, they like the noise of the world because then it shuts down them getting in tune to what's true and real inside them. And you'll see a lot of those people are very lonely people if they have any sense of any form of the truth inside them. See, there's a lot of those types that are hidden in the 2D, 3D, but really they're a little more in the 4D stage that I'm going to get into, but they mask themselves with this lower energy, if I'd like to call it. There's the fourth now. We're in the 4th D. Now, this is the 4th stage on the ladder. This is the middle of flesh, basically, of everything I just listed. They're kind of in the middle. So they take part in that stuff, but they're a little more awakened than that stage. So they look at everybody as the woke or sheeple people. They have a lot of inner work that they still need to work on. They're projecting outwardly what's coming off like they're more superior in being woke. So that's that stage. But they're still taking part in the 3D stage that I mentioned prior to. So these types of people on the 4D, these are the people that you'll see. They have like a type of way of coming off like they know everything that they're talking about because they are doing some research. They do know some things. It's just they're appearing like they know the truest truth, but you could see right through them that they have not had the full transformation that you get in the 5D that I'm going to be going into. So they have an appearance like they're awake, and they are to a certain degree. They're leveled up from the 2D and 3D, so that's a huge jump. And like I said, we've all been there before, so I'm not looking down on anybody. But you'll know them. You'll know them by how they speak, what they share. You'll see a lot of these people will tend to share strictly on government stuff. Like, they will talk about like politics a lot. They will talk about like chemtrails, the conspiracy theories of like just really just out there type stuff. And I'm not going against conspiracy theory. I love conspiracy theories, but I've already delved so much into them that I'm talking about the most out there conspiracy theories as what you'll see them talking about. Now we have the 50 on the ladder. This is the fifth level of the ladder. And this is the beginning stage of the spirit where these types are all about positiveness, love, light. Everything is good. Nothing is bad. They are still very afraid of self-analyzing themselves. They've seen their way that they were before with aggression maybe, and now they just want to stay very positive, very loving, very nice, but they're still avoiding the deep inner work. And we'll get to that on the 6th level. But they're very positive, very love and light, everybody needs to be at peace and stuff like that. So these people though, they have such a nice vibe to be around. They are pretty much harmless, besides the fact that they are kind of hiding behind too much love and light. They have a lot of inner trauma that they have not self-analyzed fully yet, but they're right there. They're at like the cusp of the next stage. The next stage that I'll be talking about. But they are truly very beautiful human beings. They just have a lot of inner trauma, a lot of inner turmoil going on. They're still in the process of growing. So the next level is the 6th. And this is the level that's all about integrating the shadow selves. I literally went through a huge self-analyzing transformation period where I was really wanting to understand the toxicity of me and who I was. And I wanted to really go in and heal that. That's what I was feeling pulled to during that time. So I went through this stage a couple years ago. Well, Alice is going to be 6 this year, so it's been quite a long time. So that 5D, you're now stepped up, you're now going inward to clean out everything, and you start seeing others as like a mirror. Like, you don't look at them like they're triggering you no more. And what's a trigger now? You're self-analyzing. You're not pointing a finger at anybody. You're looking at this like, how can God use this to help me get better now? You're not at war with yourself. You're looking up things on how to understand them now. You're cleansing yourself. You're purifying yourself. You're doing the inner work. This is where you're really looking at yourself. You're not trying to hide behind love and light and all this stuff. You're really seeing yourself as an issue and a problem that you need to fix. This is the most important stage that one can reach right here. These people have been through all the stages. They're very strong inwardly where God is within them. When they hit this level, they see everything as connected to God now. There's a perfect balance now. These, for example, are people that now if somebody is getting really upset and riled up in front of them and projecting towards them, they're not going to jump on that level of energy. They're going to stand there. They're going to look inwardly like, God, what are you doing? How are you using this to help me? And it's going to show by how you don't react to them, how you react in a more understanding way, a communicative way. Because you've already done the self-healing. You know that pain that they're projecting is not your pain because you've already done the inner work. You've self-analyzed yourself. You know that that's their war now. They might be on the 4D level that I mentioned, or in the 5D mentioned level. Be very mindful that in this video I've only listed a couple things for each of these levels, but there is so much more. There's so much more that are in each of these levels. And when I talked about that 6th level, that last level, it is much more deeper and much more spirit-filled than I can even explain. That's going to have to be on a whole separate video, because this group right here, this last climb up here, for what I'm mentioning in this video, they are very deeply connected to just the truth. They are obsessed with truth. They want to live in truth. They want to act in truth. They get persecuted the hardest because they have already evolved unhealthy ego. And when I say unhealthy ego is because to a certain degree we all need a little healthy of like anger. We need a little anger, but it has to be healthy. We need a little ego, but it has to be healthy. We need a little stubborn, but it has to be healthy. I'm just giving an example, but they have already overcome the ego. So the ones lower than the 6 that I'm talking about, and when I say lower, again, it's not to put anybody down, it's just, I'm just giving a general example, but those that are lower than that level that I explained, they are so stuck in ego still, because they're still learning and building their character. They're still going through their traumas, and some people don't get that cleansed right away, and it takes a lot longer. But it's a process when you get your awakening, when you come to the truth. Jesus is the truth, the way, and the light. And so when you know him, you are only obsessed with the truth. You hunger for truth, and you want to live it. You want to be it. You want to be perfected into it. And yeah, it hurts because you get persecuted so hard, but where there's persecution, it's a blessing, it's a reward, it's favorable. Blessed when you go through persecution. That's how you know that you've made it, when you go through that. And so that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed, and until the next one.